Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons & Dragons, from edgy elves to eager ettercaps. And today we're talking about Empyreans and Ogre Mercenaries.
Nice.
The Dungeoncast.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Will.
How's your day, man?
It's going good, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your shirt, dog.
Yeah, I hope the green isn't getting messed up in that green screen, but yeah, it's what the grumps.
It probably is. They can probably see like rando books behind it.
But it looks great in the real life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to see it, how it looks in the real life, go to our Teespring.
Teespring.com/Dungeoncast, I think.
No, it's Teespring. It's actually teespring.com/stores/the-Dungeoncast. It's the best I could get. But guess what? The link's in the description. Let's talk about Empyreans.
I like that. I like
and Ogre
Empyreans.
Mercenaries.
Yes, please.
So today's episode, we're covering two almost completely unrelated topics, Empyreans and Ogre Mercenaries. Now, as dissimilar as these two topics are, they have two common threads, making them perfect episode companions for today's Dungeoncast.
I got the first one.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Big guys.
Yep. Number one, they are both big guys, and it is, as we have claimed many times on this show,
the year of the big guy.
Of the giant. I'll be clear.
It's the year of the giant, but it's the year of the big guy.
Yeah, sure. Number two, though,
big guy,
is neither of the topics has enough meat on their bones to carry their own episode. That's the other thing.
Well, yeah, you've seen Dungeoncast episodes before, hopefully,
where we double
we
stuff up.
Yeah, we double stuff Oreo, but it's just the size of one Oreo.
Yeah, so Empyreans have practically no source book outside of the 5e Monster Manual, and Ogre Mercenaries would have just been included in the original Ogres and Trolls episode if Mordenkainen and Stone of Foes had been released at that time, but it had not. So we have a lot of stat blocks to go over today, a bit of lore for everyone, and some creative ideas for implementing these monsters into your D&D campaign setting.
Cool.
So let's begin with Empyreans.
I would like that.
All right. These beings are also known as Celestial Titans.
Ooh.
And indeed, on their 5e Monster Manual stat block, they're tagged as Celestials, parentheses, Titans.
Okay.
Now, this is something I kind of find particularly interesting because traditionally, Titans in D&D are essentially bigger, more powerful giants, even higher in the ordering than their smaller kin.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are Titans for every kind of giant, including Frost Titan, Fire Titan, Storm Titan, etc. Titans are strikingly similar to their giant counterparts, but much bigger, with heights between 25 to 50 feet tall.
Okay.
These classic D&D Titans usually dwell in the various outer planes, rarely making their homes in the material plane.
Okay.
Now, Empyreans have absolutely nothing to do with these kinds of Titans, despite having the tag Titan. And in fact, 5e seems to be pretending as if these kind of Titans don't exist at all, or at least I haven't seen any source books referring to them or statting them out, which is why we haven't spoken about them up until now in this Year of the Giant.
So 5e, no Titans so far.
So far, they existed before. I'm sure they still exist, but they haven't been talked about.
I mean, yeah, you can just go pluck some old lore off the tree.
A lot of 5e lore keeps saying that storm giants are at the absolute pinnacle height of the ordering, but if there are Titans, that isn't true, so I'm not sure. Anyways, moving on.
Okay.
So, Empyreans seem to be a new addition to D&D, having been introduced in the 5e Monster Manual for the first time, and they're essentially the celestial children of deities.
Nice.
The Monster Manual specifies that they are specifically offspring of deities of the upper planes, so specifically good deities.
Okay, so just good deities making big children.
Exactly. So, though I do not see why evil deities would produce different offspring, especially considering the fact that evil Empyreans, which we will elaborate on later, do in fact exist.
Okay.
So they're depicted as universally beautiful, statuesque, and self-assured beings. Perfect divine humanoids of immense power, elegance, and shapeliness. Now, this is an interesting concept to me. I don't know why, but up until now, I just assumed that children of gods would also be gods.
Okay.
But the more I think about that, that doesn't entirely make sense. So though many children of gods are also gods in their own right, deitydom is tied more to worship and the number of worshipers one has than anything else.
Yeah.
So an Empyrean definitely has a huge head start toward godhood than nearly any other type of being in the cosmos. Immense power, immortality, great networking amongst all their parents' friends, a sizable inheritance of worshipers who probably worship their parents first, but...
Hey, you're Pelor's kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they probably want to see their god's child, career potentially blossom.
Right.
Hey, you're Pelor's kid. Nice. But they are not born gods and do not technically have divinity in them from their birth.
Does that make them like demigods?
Kinda, except for
I guess
demigods.
It just makes them Empyreans.
It makes them Empyreans, yeah. But because a demigod in D&D does have divinity, they're just very, very low level god.
Right. Okay.
So, now from the limited amount written about Empyreans, portrays their psychology in a very interesting light. Empyreans seem to be a bit more capricious, mercurial, and even immature than their parents.
Sorry, I'm stuck on my...
Yeah, you do you.
I got a wire.
An Empyrean can experience deity-like fits of both serenity and rage. Their emotions are extremely potent and prone to change. So potent are their emotions, in fact, that they can affect the environment around them simply by its mood.
Oh.
When an Empyrean is unhappy, the clouds might cry tears of salt water, the wildflowers and surrounding meadows might wilt, dead fish might wash ashore in lakes or rivers, and or nearby forests might lose leaves from its trees.
Come along, child. No, Mommy, wait, it's raining. It's like, what? Mommy, salt.
The Empyreans are crying.
What the hell?
When an Empyrean is jubilant, sunlight follows it everywhere. Small animals frolic in its footsteps, and birds fill the sky with their pleasing songs.
Okay, cool. So this makes sense because you have lots of like high-level beings affecting their environments around them. So
absolutely.
This is kind of more localized to them.
To them, yeah.
It's not like a mile within the Empyrean, the fucking volcanoes erupt and the birds sing songs.
Right.
Okay.
So I think this may be a way of portraying the fact that as children of gods, they are young. Okay. Even Empyreans that are thousands of years old are infants in comparison to the span of eternity.
Okay.
So with their immortality comes slowness of change and thus perhaps a certain slowness of learning and experience that develops emotional maturity. Okay. That's what I get from it. That's kind of my read on it.
This reminded me of oak trees.
What?
Trees are old.
Trees are old. That is a fact. As one would expect, a being whose emotions are so difficult to control can also be manipulated or coerced to the dark side, maybe a bit more easier than others might be.
Okay.
A few Empyreans have turned to evil after venturing to the lower planes and becoming corrupted, or as a result of being cursed by evil gods. An evil Empyrean can't survive long on the upper planes and usually retreats to the material plane where it can rule over a kingdom of mortals as an indomitable tyrant. So that'd be a nice campaign ender. These things are fucking powerful.
Okay,
like
sweet.
ancient dragon powerful. So
oh wow.
Yeah, so definitely campaign ender.
God babies.
God babies, yeah. So
I'm picturing Atlas, but since they're giants, they're just instead of holding like a planet, they're just holding a fucking boulder. You know, that's the rock they're gonna throw. They just hold it like that. Like, I'm so buff.
I'm so buff. So Empyreans have a semi-unique form of immortality. They don't age, but can technically be slain. When an Empyrean dies, its spirit returns to its home plane. There, one of the fallen Empyrean's parents resurrects the Empyrean, unless he or she has a good reason not to, like they turned evil or something. Because of this, few Empyreans can imagine their own demise, and thus they fight fearlessly when drawn into battle and plunge recklessly into danger, refusing to believe that the end is upon them, even when standing on death's door, because in truth, it isn't upon them.
So they're biologically immortal again?
They're biologically immortal.
Okay.
And on top of that, when they're slain, their parents, who are gods, just resurrect them.
Dope.
I mean, privilege. There it is.
Yeah, man.
80 questions so far, because I only got one last thing to say.
My questions are stat block related.
Okay, cool, because we are going to dive into it.
Yeah, so many times my questions are stat block related. So
yeah, this is true. So last thing I want to talk about before hitting the stat block is the etymology of the word Empyrean. This word comes from ancient Greece and the concept in ancient cosmologies of the Empyrean heaven, or simply the Empyrean.
Okay.
This was the place in the highest heaven, which was supposed to be occupied by the element of fire, or aether in Aristotle's natural philosophy. The Empyrean was thus used as a name in Christian literature for the dwelling place of God, the blessed celestial beings so divine that they are made of pure light, and the source of light and creation. Notably, at the very end of Dante's Paradiso, Dante visited God in the Empyrean.
Okay. So, oh yeah, he did. That's right.
Cool. I've never read it. So
well, I know the word. I didn't read that one.
Okay.
I've seen it though.
Gotcha.
I had to research it to pass tests.
Because I was curious about the name, so I looked into it. But yeah, let's dive into the stat block.
I like that. Let's dive into the stat block. I actually put it in a really inopportune place. So give me a second while I delay and just talk about some whatever bullshit and get it out in front of me.
Okay.
Empyrean. Huge celestial, and in parentheses it does say Titan.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Maybe it's a setup.
Maybe. Been a long setup though.
Mordenkainen's Tome of Big Guys.
Next
up. No, we're getting Tasha's culture
excited.
of all the stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so chaotic good 75% or neutral evil 25%. So this is just detailing out of the 100% of these guys, 75 are good.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
cool. Armor class 22 natural armor.
Yeah.
These things are definitely going to be wearing armor, nah?
They could.
Yeah, I don't see
but
why
they
not.
don't need to because it's natural.
And the armor would need.
Oh, you don't see the picture. I was like, do you see the chest on that guy? And tell me he doesn't have 22 armor.
I'm just picturing Atlas, so yeah,
Yeah.
this big
You know
chest.
what? You keep reading stat block. I'm
bring
going to
up
show
Atlas,
you an Empyrean.
Let's see here. Yeah, armor class 22 natty. 313 HP, which is nothing to sneeze at. Let's see. Speed is 50 feet movement speed, 50 feet flying speed, and 50 feet swimming speed. This is some triathlon shit. It's amazing.
Tell me that those pecs don't have 22 armor class.
Oh, I've seen these guys. Yeah. Oh, man, dude. The shoulders on this beast.
I know.
Fuck me. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Continue.
The DM showed me that. I was like, this is what you're fighting. It's fucking very tall. Okay. It moved 50 feet in a round. It flew 50. Damn. This is a scary monster. Okay, so the strength is 30. The dex is 21. The con is 30. Whew. Intelligence is 21, wisdom 22, charisma is 27.
Extremely powerful.
Saving throws, strength plus 17.
I think this monster breaks the top 5 of strong monsters we've ever talked about.
Plus 17 strength. Intelligence plus 12, wisdom plus 13, charisma plus 15.
I think top 3 would probably be Angel, Red Dragon, this guy.
Yeah.
Tarrasque.
That's tracking.
Tarrasque.
Storm Giant wasn't even like...
No, not even close.
Okay, so, it goes without saying that Tarrasque is a fucking animal. Skills, plus 13 to Insight, plus 15 to Persuasion. And then the damage immunities are... damage immunities, and there's a lot of them. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. That makes total sense, though. Senses, it's got True Sight for 120 feet. Oh, and then Passive Perception is 16. It knows all languages.
Why not?
Wow. And the challenge rating is 23 with 50,000 XP.
I think that's tied with Ancient Red Dragon, I'm not sure.
That's pretty fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Innate spellcasting. The Empyrean's innate spellcasting ability is Charisma. Spell save DC 23, plus 15 to hit. With spell attacks, it can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components, and at will it can cast Greater Restoration, which is very good. Pass Without a Trace, which is very good. Water Breathing, usually very good. If you need it, you need it. And then Water Walk, which is total sense for God stuff.
Sure.
And once per day it can commune, dispel evil and good, earthquake, firestorm, and plane shift. And it can only plane shift itself, it says in parentheses.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never read earthquake or firestorm, but they sound crazy.
I'm sure they're as crazy as they sound.
Oh, we're going to read them after this episode. Legendary resistance, 3 per day. If the Empyrean fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. Magic resistance. The Empyrean has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Magic weapons. The Empyrean's weapon attacks are magical. That just means that it can pick up any weapon and it just does magical damage. Yep. Wow, cool. The actions. Maul. Melee weapon attack plus 17 to hit. Reaches 10 feet. One target.
It should be bigger, honestly. It should be 15 feet with how fucking big they are.
I know, but...
Whatever.
Yeah. The hit is going to be 31 or 66 plus 10 bludgeoning damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of the Empyrean's next turn. That's raging, man. Mm-hmm. Bolt is a ranged spell attack with plus 15 to hit. A range of 600 feet.
God damn.
That's what was the elemental that we talked about that was doing that shit from like a mile away?
Like a mile away, yeah.
Rayquaza. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that hit is going to be one target at 24 damage or 7d6, which is nice. Just do a fucking 600-foot fireball out there. Damage of, 24 damage of one of the following types. Empyrean's choice. You're gonna choose acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, radiant, or thunder.
They can invoke all the elements. Okay.
Yeah, well, one of them at a time. But yeah, they can get them all. Legendary actions. The Empyrean can take 3 of these, choosing from the options below. One legendary action can be used at a time. At the end of another creature's turn, the Empyrean regains spent legendary actions at the start of its turn. So it can do an attack. So the Empyrean makes one attack. So choose either Maul or Bolt. And then Bolster. The Empyrean bolsters all non-hostile creatures within 120 feet of it until the end of its turn. Bolstered creatures can't be charmed or frightened, and they gain advantage on ability checks and saving throws until the end of the Empyrean's next turn. So just like Paladin and up.
Yeah,
like AoE and all their boys. Trembling. I wonder if you're already afraid. This bolster probably wouldn't stop you from being like if you're already afflicted by fear, your
Does it say makes them immune to fear?
No, it says they can't. Can't be charmed or frightened. So it's a preventative thing.
Yeah, I think it would cancel the frightened effect because you can't be frightened, so thus you cannot be frightened. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, you're already frightened.
Yeah, and now
I get what you're saying.
Now you can't be.
Trembling Strike, it costs 2 of your legendary actions. The Empyrean strikes the ground with its maul, triggering an earth tremor. All other creatures on the ground within 60 feet of the Empyrean must succeed on a DC 25 strength saving throw
so high.
or be knocked prone. So he just fucking punched the ground with the maul.
And everyone's knocked
And
over.
everybody, well, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what we got for the stat block. That's absolutely savage.
Yeah, it's a monster stat block. Definitely a campaign ender.
Yeah.
And there's not really any room for him as not a campaign ender unless your party is just so strong.
Yeah, like where are you gonna have like
all level 20s and decked out, and then maybe you need 3 of these guys.
And then you have like a little NPC army to like help fight it.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
Like that. Maybe this is your like, I was running 2 games. I've always wanted to do this, by the way. I want to run 2 separate games where the parties meet at the end.
I've heard about people doing that.
And then people will role play 2 characters or whatever at the same time, or we have that many people and they team up to fight the Empyrean. It's like
for me, I've seen like
they fight each other. That's dope
pitted
too.
Against each other,
That's like Golden Sun Lost Age. The first spoilers for Golden Sun. I love that game. I think we've spoiled it so many times at this point. But the first Golden Sun, you play as a party trying to stop this other party, and they're like way ahead of you. And then in the second game, you're the other party, and then that party catches up, and it's like, we're gonna have to fight to the death, dog, even though we're childhood friends and shit. And it's like, hey, no, you've been wrong the whole time. I was like, fuck it, let's team up, and now you get double people to play the game with.
That's
and it was
really
so
cool.
good. It really did it well.
Let's take a short rest and we'll come back to Ogre Mercenaries.
We will. Hey everybody, be sure to check out
Super Quest Saga, a future fantasy 5th edition D&D actual play podcast homebrewed and dungeon mastered by yours truly, me, and Set in Space.
And I play in it, along with your special guest Jake and friend of the show, Josh Freeland.
You can find it on YouTube, iTunes, or anywhere else you can get your podcasts.
Super Quest Saga!
We've returned.
Indeed we have.
Shit, we're back.
Indeed we are.
What do we got left?
Ogre Mercenaries.
That's right.
So, Ogre Mercenaries are exactly what they sound like. Ogres who have either been coaxed, bullied, or persuaded into using their brute strength for hire, and usually in a more organized manner than they would naturally.
Okay.
Now, this is one of those things that I've praised 4th edition for and given 5e a hard time about. 4e was really good about having a variety of types of a single monster you could throw at a party. You didn't just have the Manticore. You also had variants like the Manticore Sky Hunter and the Manticore Impaler.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, 4e offered versions of things with alternative abilities and varying levels of difficulty, which made encounter building fun and easy at whatever level you pleased. 5e has a different approach on a lot of monsters, only offering a single version of a creature. And it isn't difficult to tweak a monster or anything, but having variants is always nice. That being said, here are some ogre variants for Mordenkainen and Stone of Foes that are fucking awesome.
Yeah, I did notice that they have variants of like the more common monsters.
More humanoid monsters, I've noticed.
Goblins, kobolds, and ogres and orcs, I think.
Yeah.
I think orcs, yeah.
Orcs too.
Yeah,
all the humanoid ones, yeah.
What do you want me to do first for this?
So I'm going to go through this in the order that I have the notes, and then we'll just do each one. So.
Oh, okay, cool. More notes. Got it.
Ogres are infamously dim-witted, but with enough time and patience, some of them can be trained to carry out specialized missions in battle. The names they are given, the Battering Ram, the Bolt Launcher, the Chain Brute, and the Howdah, reflect their particular functions. These jobs are simple, but they're tailored to take advantage of an ogre's strength. We're going to start with Ogre Battering Ram.
Okay.
An Ogre Battering Ram carries an enormous club used primarily for bashing doors into kindling, but which also works well for smashing foes. These ogres are drilled in 2 simple tasks: rushing forward to shatter enemy fortifications, and using their weapons to force an advancing enemy to halt.
There you go.
So let's read the stat block for the Ogre Battering Ram.
Got it right here. My dude, Ogre Battering Ram, large giant, chaotic evil. Armor class is 14. They're wearing ring mail. Which is like the lowest heavy armor, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's like rings woven together on the leather.
Yeah.
Languages are common and giant, and the challenge rating is 4. Right in that window there. Siege monster. The ogre deals double damage to objects and structures, obviously. Okay, so actions are the bash. Melee weapon attack plus 6 to hit. Reach is 5 feet. One target. The hit is going to be 15 or 2d10 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. And the ogre can push the target 5 feet away if the target is huge or smaller.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, it is nice. Okay, so block the path. Until the start of the ogre's next turn, attack rolls against the ogre have disadvantage. It has advantage on attack rolls if it has advantage on attack rolls it makes for an opportunity attack, and that attack deals an extra 16 or 3d10 bludgeoning damage on a hit. Yeah. Also, each enemy that tries to move out of the ogre's reach without teleporting must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw or have its speed reduced to 0 until the start of the ogre's next turn.
So this guy locks people down.
Knock the wind out of you or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow, okay. But that's it for that one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wait, did I read the strength? It's got... I think I skipped the... Did I skip all this stuff? The armor class is 14. The HP was 59, speed 40 feet.
You said that, yeah.
I did say all that? Did I detail the strength dex and stuff? I don't remember.
I don't remember you doing the abilities now.
It's got 19 strength, 8 dex, so that's a -1 there. 16 con, 5 intelligence. This is an ogre. 7 wisdom, and 7 charisma.
Okay.
Has 60 feet of dark vision. Passive perception is 8. It's and I read it speaks common and giant. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the battering ram. Sounds pretty useful again for locking things down and bashing things in. So next we're going to talk about the Ogre Bolt Launcher. A bolt launcher carries a gigantic crossbow, a weapon so large it's essentially an ogre-held ballista.
Whoa.
An ogre bolt launcher can load this immense weapon and loose its deadly missile as quickly as a dwarf handles a crossbow. The bolts are so large that few ogres can carry more than half a dozen at a time, but bolt launchers have been known to uproot small trees or tear beams out of buildings and launch those when their ammunition runs low. So they'll launch the beams.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine sitting in a tavern and just it gets attacked by one of these guys? Like some orc bats down the door, another one shoots this bolt through the window, it takes out the support beam.
Fucking horrifying.
It accidentally kills the battering ram orc when the building collapses.
Yeah, sure. Whoops.
No, he just damages the debris falling on it. He's like, no, I do double damage to all this shit.
Right, exactly. So let's look at the bolt launcher stat block.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're talking about essentially a ranged ogre.
Ranged ogre. Ogre bolt launcher. Large giant, chaotic evil, armor class 13, hide armor. HP is 59, same as the last one. Speed is 40 feet. So pretty much these are all going to be statted the same, it looks like. This is
because they're the same creature with different abilities.
So this one, they're specializing though. So the only thing different is instead of the -1 dex for the battering ram, this is going to have actually +1 dex, so 12 dex.
Oh, okay, because they've trained in the dexter starts of ranged weaponry.
Yeah, and they're wearing a lighter armor so they can move a little better. So this is what it seems like. Yeah. But everything else is the same. So the 19 strength, 16 con, 5 intelligence, 7 wisdom, 7 charisma. The dark vision of 60 feet with the passive perception of 8, common and giant, challenge rating 2. This one's a challenge rating 2. The other one was a challenge rating 4. Actions, fist, so melee weapon attack +6. They should really find a better name for that, yeah?
Punch, maybe?
Maybe punch. End of arm strike.
End of
arm thrust. Yeah. No, I don't know about that one either. Okay, so +6 to hit, reach of 5 feet, 1 target. It's going to do 9 or 2d4 +4 bludge.
So not great.
Not great. Bad name.
Sure.
Bolt launcher. Here's the money shot. Oop. Ranged weapon attack, +3 to hit, with a range of 120 or /480 feet.
Okay, long distance.
Yeah, 1 target. The hit is going to do 17 damage or 3d10 +1 pierce.
Very potent. For challenge rating 2, that's very strong.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely
long range. You got to make sure you zigzag when you run away from this guy.
Mm-hmm. True that. That's the end of that one?
Yep.
All right, next let's talk about the Ogre Chain Brute. An Ogre Chain Brute wields a great spiked chain. It swings this chain with both hands in a wide circle around itself to knock foes off their feet. Alternatively, it can swing the chain in a crushing overhead smash that's nearly impossible to block or deflect. Elaborate with that stat block.
You got it. So this is the Ogre Chain Brute, large giant chaotic evil with an armor class of 11, hide armor. That's 59 HP again, speed of 40 feet again. Strength 19. The dex is back down to an 8. Con 16, intelligence 5, wisdom 7, charisma 7. So pretty much identical to the Ogre Battering Ram. The dark vision is going to be 60 feet. Common, giant, challenge
All the
rating.
same stuff, yeah.
Challenge rating 3. Actions. Fist.
Cool.
Yep.
Same damage?
Yes, it's exactly the same. I'm not going to read that again.
Okay.
Next one is chain sweep. So
There we go. Here's something new.
the ogre swings its chain. Nice. And every creature within 10 feet of it must make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw. On a failed saving throw, a creature takes 8 or 1d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage and it is knocked prone. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is not knocked prone.
Okay. Nice. So, like, basically a spell save. That's a nice AoE.
So, yeah, chain sweep, so out in front, I imagine.
10
or
feet
a
all
spin
around
attack.
them?
Yeah.
And they're large, right?
Every creature within 10 feet of it.
And are they large or huge? I think they're
They
large.
are large.
Large. So that's like a 40-foot diameter. Like a 40-foot area.
Right, because of the space they take
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
So everything around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
It's not. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Don't fuck with this thing. Chain smash. So this first one's a sweep. Going all around it, just doing a spinny. This one's probably bringing it down overhead.
Yeah.
It's on a recharge of you got to roll a d6 and land a 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, pretty good. Melee weapon attack is going to be +6 to hit with a reach of 10 feet for one target. So that's going to be 13 or 2d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage, and the target must succeed on a DC 14 con save or be knocked unconscious for 1 minute.
That's why it's got such a high recharge.
Yeah.
That thing's scary. I can't
unconscious-
wait to throw that at some players.
The unconscious target repeats the saving throw if it takes damage, and at the end of each of its turns.
Oh, okay.
So ending the effect
It's
on
almost like
itself
a
is
temporary
success.
stun in a way.
Yeah.
That's still awesome. I really like that.
I mean, a lot of bad things could happen to you if you're unconscious.
This
so,
is true.
This
is true.
I don't know if you can is there a quick spell you can do to up an unconscious person real quick or because just healing them won't
In
bring
this
them
case,
back.
it won't bring them back.
Yeah.
I think there is. I think, God, what's the name of the spell? It's a pretty low level spell that it takes off poison and all that.
End an
stuff.
effect.
It ends an effect. I can't remember.
Is it a restoration spell of some kind?
It
or
might
something
be.
Like that?
I can't remember.
I don't know. Let us know in the
But
comments.
I'm sure there is one. Is that it for the chain brute?
That was it for the chain
All
brute.
right, let's get into the last one, the Ogre Howdah.
Howdah.
So, the most unusual of the specialized ogres, the Howdah carries a palisaded wooden fort on its back.
What?
The fort is, I should show you a
It's
picture.
like the elephants in Lord of the Rings or
Yes,
whatever?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Which
Wow, I
that's
haven't
what
talked about Lord of the Rings in a long
is.
time.
It's an elephant with trained for military with people on its back.
Got it. Okay.
Where was I? The fort is big enough to serve as a fighting platform for up to 4 small humanoids. Ogre Howdahs are most often seen bearing goblins equipped with bows and spears in the battle, but they could just as easily transport kobolds, deep gnomes, or other humanoids of similar size.
Okay, so not hobgoblins are probably too big to be up there.
But goblins. And as a matter of fact,
maybe 2
I'll pull up the
hobgoblins.
image, but the goblins, the image of one has goblins riding it. So let me
cool.
look this
Why
up.
why would ogres and goblins be in league?
For a multitude of reasons, it could just be that the goblins of this particular tribe have, or maybe even hobgoblins are part of this, have gained enough strength and power to have bullied or raised an ogre to serve them.
Nice.
There's
okay.
that. But there's also just the classic Lord of the Rings-esque where the horde, or even World of Warcraft, the horde is the ogres, the orcs, the goblins, the trolls work together as they are the enemy kind of deal. This
Yeah,
could be one
under
of
the
those.
PBG to...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I get you.
But yeah, here's a picture of a Howdah with goblins upon its back.
Howdah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, it's really
That is
scary.
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, let's read that stat block though.
There's a lot of fire in that picture.
There was, yeah.
Unexpectedly so. We have the Ogre Howdah. Large giant, chaotic evil, armor class 13, breastplate. Let's see. HP 59. Speed is 40 feet. With a strength of 19, dex 8, con 16, intelligence 5, wisdom 7, charisma 7. It's going to have 60 feet of dark vision with a passive perception of 8. It's going to speak common and giant, challenge rating 2 on this one. So the Howdah is the next thing to read. The ogre carries a compact fort on its back. Up to 4 small creatures can ride in the fort without squeezing. Ooh. To make a melee attack against a target within 5 feet of the ogre, they must use spears or weapons with reach.
Oh, I see.
To get up there.
Yeah.
So creatures in the fort have 3/4 cover against attacks and effects from outside it. I think that gives them like a +5 or something on there, you see?
Yeah, something like that.
If the ogre dies, creatures in the fort are placed in unoccupied spaces within 5 feet of the ogre. So the ogre dies, they fall off, essentially.
So he's like their shield.
Yeah.
Like for the real enemy, which is them. So
Right.
I'm sure he is an enemy that is strong too. But
Yeah, because he can use mace. This is the only action. Melee weapon attack +6 to hit with a reach of 5 feet, one target. It's going to do 11 or 2d6 + 4 bludgeoning damage. So you can't ignore it necessarily.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of have to take care of it before you can take care of the things on its back.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like a polearm guy is going to be able to get up into the, or like a bow and like an arcane archer might be able to pick off the.
Yeah, but
things
they
riding
have
on top.
3/4 coverage. So
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
It's still going to be a
you
tough
have
shot.
to you have to take care of him first.
That is wise to do so.
Yeah, that's how he's designed.
Knock him prone, because if you knock him prone, I would have those creatures at least make like. They're going to be out of there.
Not to get like thrown
fall out of the
I like
Howdah.
that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I mean, it doesn't say that on here. I would just imagine
same.
Logic.
Yeah,
pertain-
I would
pertaining to this.
homebrew that in.
Yeah.
So any questions about Ogre Mercenaries?
These are cool, definitely cool. Like, so that's why they're called like Ogre Mercenaries. Like, these guys are for hire.
Yeah, these
So
are
maybe
specialized.
that's
Well,
why.
maybe they were for hire, or maybe they were bullied or provoked or coerced or whatever.
They're for assigning.
Yeah, exactly.
For assignments.
Yeah. They're working for someone else. They're
Right,
not just a monster in the woods.
Exactly. Yeah.
These are war monsters,
Yes,
essentially.
they're set up to specialize and do like a lot of these teaming up together. Like this makes a
very
cool,
scary.
This is a cool military unit, especially when you're incorporating
Yeah.
things like goblins to run around as mobs.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, it's wild. I'm imagining these this chain one, the chain brute is gonna be like not giving a shit about who's in the way.
Yeah,
So he's
I
gonna
think
be
that's their thing.
blowing
yeah.
up their own people.
I can see that for sure. Yeah,
That's like
absolutely.
Spoilers for Revival of F, Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Frieza like killing his own
he
dudes
doesn't
just to
give a
make a show of it.
shit. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna blow up all these dudes.
Well, I think it's time for a long rest.
Let's rest and do it so longly.
Right.
Hey everybody, welcome to the long rest portion of the show where we get ready to go to sleep. Before I get to sleep, I brush my teeth and floss most of the time, and put my slippies on.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Will.
Yeah.
My slippies they have little howdahs on them.
Okay.
Little goblins.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like a nuisance.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Well, no, I mean, like if they were real, like
Okay.
it's a nice little like a ogre kind of like flesh look to the foot part with the howdah on top.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
sure.
it's the ogre face at the end.
Okay, I can see that,
with
yeah.
the teeth, like alligator style
Yeah,
almost. But
sure.
So it's an ogre face, and then there's a howdah
So
on
are
the
your
back
toes
of it.
coming out of its mouth?
Yeah, that looks
Okay.
pretty cool. Like it
Okay.
ate somebody. Sure, why
yeah.
not? And there's like teeth.
Yeah.
And then the little howdah's got like 4 little stuffed gobbies on it with like bow and arrow or whatever.
That's very okay. It went from horribly terrifying to actually kind of adorable.
a little cute.
like it.
Yeah,
I
there's
like
a lot. Unexpectedly, there's a lot of fire on these slippies.
This is stupid.
And this slippy's is just a battering. That's my right slippy. My left slippy's just a fucking battering ram.
Oh, okay. Nice. It sounds
Yeah.
heavy and uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's just a fucking block of wood with a metal like flat piece on the end. Anyway,
Alright. Yeah. So
Contest
over. Someone won. We probably already announced it at this point. Did we? Yeah, this
Shit, I
one's
think we
airing
did.
the 20th. So we already announced
We
whoever
announced
won. We don't know that now because it's only like the 7th right now as we're recording this. But
well, the 6th.
as soon as we do know and we are recording, we will also announce the winner live.
Yeah, you'll get
here
your
on the Dungeoncast.
announcement up in
Yeah.
here.
But until then, we got another contest going. Back-to-back contest.
Get ready, dude.
So now we're going to stop.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'll probably stop one day,
you
but
got
not right now.
You got a deep breath. You got like 5 days to chill.
Yeah.
And now it's time to fucking tell the world about the Dungeoncast again. Please. Please, we'll give you some stuff.
And as we roll into our Halloween Spooktacular Spook Fest.
Nice Dungeons and Dragons reference, Will.
What?
Oh, you said the word roll. It's synonymous with the game
yes,
we
I did,
talk about
I
all the
did.
time.
But as we roll into the month of scary things, we're going to give away a scary prize. Brian, why don't you tell our audience what we're giving away on
giving away-
Halloween night?
We're giving away spooky time stuff.
We
and
are.
As a lot of you probably know, they're redoing the Curse of Strahd.
Yes.
They're getting rid of some
Like
suspects.
really redoing
They're
it.
revamping it. As
Yeah,
a matter of fact,
like
this item.
Upgrading it.
They're I think this is definitely a big upgrade. Curse of Strahd, ; revamped premium edition. the D&D box set. We are going. They basically made like a coffin shaped.
I was going to say, isn't it like the shape like a coffin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shaped like
really
a coffin, and it's got a bunch of cool stuff in it. From what I'm seeing, it's got like a DM's. It's got the Curse of Strahd adventure module, the revamped version, and it's got a DM screen with like images of Barovia on it. That you get the Taraka deck. Taraka.
Nice.
And it looks like you get a few other things. Like there might be like maps in here, or like maybe like a postcard or something like that is what I'm seeing on here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the details of like exactly what's in here. I know the Taraka deck, the module, and it looks like some other paperwork is coming along with it. We'll get those details for you. But basically it's the Curse of Strahd revamped premium edition. We're going to give away 2 of them.
We're giving away 2 of these bad boys.
Got like 5-6 weeks. Yeah, on Halloween, we're going to announce the winner. This is going to be part of our Halloween spooktacular that we do every year, and maybe not next year. No, we are going to do it next year, but
it'll probably be something different next year because we're on Little Monsters. But anyways, we're giving away 2 of these bad boys, and all you got to do to enter on Twitter is share a link to one of the episodes of one of our shows. Doesn't matter which show, doesn't matter what platform, even Saga, even Dungeons & Dragons Explained in 5 minutes. Just leave the hashtag Dungeoncast and you'll be entered. If you want to go ahead and share our show on a different social media platform, just send us proof with a screenshot, and that'll enter you as well. And if you want to do it on Instagram, talk to Brian.
Yeah, I'm Brian. Hey, everybody. You can find me at the Dungeoncast on Instagram. And I'm pretty much going to do, if you entered our last contest and followed those rules properly, I'm going to do the same thing for this contest. I'm going to make a post about the Curse of Strahd revamped premium edition giveaway. Basically, you're going to tag a friend in the comments below. You can tag 1 friend per comment to get you an entry. So enter as many times as you want for tagging friends. So go ahead and do that. You have to also make sure that you are following the account and that you have liked the photo. That's the stipulation there. Awesome. But that's pretty much it. Really simple. So no excuses. Get in there. Get yourself a gram. What are you doing? Follow us.
If you want to help support us here at the Dungeoncast, there's a number of things you can do. You can leave a review on iTunes. That helps us out a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, you can check out our merch store at teespring.com. I believe it's teespring.com/stores/the-Dungeoncast. But guess what? Description, or the link is in the description. So go check that out. Get yourself a What the Grump shirt. Get yourself a Super Quest Saga shirt. Get yourself a Year of the Giant shirt or a Dungeoncast mug. There's a number of things at the store. But
yeah, and keep checking back because I know we'll tell you about it when we put it up, but eventually we're going to put up new stuff. And it's on the way. We got stuff in the pipeline.
Every purchase helps us out. You can also check out our Patreon, which Brian can tell you a little bit more about.
Yeah, it's patreon.com/Dungeoncast. You can do a lot of things there. If you're itching for more Dungeoncast content, that's where you go to find it. We have one-shot adventures. There's a whole show in there. There's like 2 seasons of a show in there. Like Halloween special, Ranger Danger, the ever popular Ranger Danger.
Yeah.
All of our, hey, this is a good one.
It's a party full of Rangers.
All of our, Ranger Danger, that has a kick-ass theme song.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, you can get all of the Dungeoncast product OST. Anything, any music, any sounds we make, we throw it into a Google Drive that we let you access on the Patreon at a certain level. So just go read like which level works best for you. Supporting us at a monthly rate it's very, very meaningful to us.
Yes.
So thank you to everybody. Usually we start our recordings with Patreon shout outs. We're going to start ending so the next episode, you're going to get your Patreon shout out if you came in. So don't worry about that. But yeah, go check us out on Patreon. You can get early episodes of this show. You can get, all the OST for Super Quest Saga. It's there. I think we're going to start putting that in the Super Quest Saga has a wiki now.
It does.
And
a really good wiki.
Velocity is working with me to get which song titles go with which episode. Because I'm going to toot my horn a little bit. I spent some time renaming some of the songs to have like really catchy names.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool. Good idea.
I went down a nostalgia dive and did some like Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco.
Oh gosh,
came back up. So it's like that had some influence over what I'm titling some songs.
Okay, for sure.
So it was a lot of fun. So if you guys want to go check that type of stuff out, you can. Patreon. So thanks. You can also get exclusive merch there. And that's a big one. But the biggest thing you can do is just to tell somebody about the Dungeoncast and get them to listen to the show.
Yep.
So we really appreciate you guys sticking with us till the end here, where we get sleepy. And I'm really sleepy now, and I think I might go to bed.
I think it's time we call it a game.
Let's call it a game.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Dungeoncast.